The average family eats about 200 pounds of potatoes a year, and most of those come from the store. But you can grow a year's supply in roughly 100 square feet. The problem isn't that potatoes are difficult, it's that most gardeners plant them the wrong way. Shallow rows waste the majority of a bed's productive potential. Using the deep planting approach popularized by John Seymour can multiply your yield from the same footprint. Potatoes don't need more horizontal room, they need vertical depth. Here's what most gardeners miss. Gardeners treat potatoes like surface crops, but potatoes are tubers that form layers underground. Shallow soil only gives you one layer, so yields stay disappointing. Every extra inch of depth creates space for another full layer of tubers. That's why going deep multiplies harvests. Seymour's system rests on 7 core principles that convert a tiny plot into a potato powerhouse. 1. Soil fertility. Potatoes are heavy feeders and demand exceptionally rich, organic soil. No amount of planting trickery can rescue poor fertility. Seymour advised working in huge quantities of compost or well-rotted manure until the bed is dark and loose, almost so soft you can push your arm in. In such soil, a single plant can yield 10-15 pounds. In shallow, tired soil, the same variety may only give 2-3 pounds. Depth and fertility must work together. Principle 2. Deep bed planting. The game changer is planting much deeper than usual, about 18 inches instead of 4-6 inches. That depth lets each plant form multiple tuber layers as it grows upward. In very friable soil, you can space seed pieces as close as 12 inches and still avoid competition, fitting more plants into the same area while increasing per plant yield. The core insight: depth creates more usable underground real estate. Compost and mulch method. If you prefer to avoid heavy digging, try layering. Lay seed potatoes on a thick compost base, cover with more compost, then pile on straw, spoiled hay, or leaves. As shoots appear, you keep adding mulch to keep tubers covered. At harvest, you simply pull back the mulch and pick. No destructive digging. You can even harvest early by removing a bit of mulch, taking some small potatoes, and replacing it so the plant keeps producing. These cover systems also enrich the soil for later crops. Principle 4. Vertical growing in containers. For patios or small yards, barrels, towers, or large bins let you stack depth. Fill the bottom with approximately 6 in of soil, plant 1 or 2 seed potatoes, and as stems grow, add more soil layers before flowering. The plant will produce tubers at each layer. A single barrel can yield 30-50 pounds from a tiny footprint. Its depth, stacked vertically. Principle 5. Proper earthing up. When using conventional rows, keep developing tubers covered to prevent light exposure that makes them green and toxic. Solanine. Earthing up, piling soil or mulch around stems, provides the underground room tubers need while keeping them in perpetual darkness. A practical tip Seymour recommended: earth up early in the morning when plants are more upright so you can work close to stems without breaking them. Principle 6. Choose the right varieties. Early, second earlies, and main crop potatoes differ in days to maturity and storage life. Aries ripen in approximately 90-100 days and are great fresh, but they don't store long. Main crop varieties take approximately 120-140 days, yield more, and keep for months. For a full year's supply, favor mostly main crop types with a few earlies for summer eating. Principle 7. Rotation and disease control. Potatoes are in the Solanaceae family, tomatoes, peppers, and share diseases. Don't plant potatoes in the same bed year after year. Pathogens build up. Seymour's 4-year rotation works well. Potatoes after heavy manuring, then legumes to fix nitrogen, then brassicas which use that nitrogen, then root crops. By the time potatoes return, the soil has recovered and many disease organisms have declined. Blight is the biggest seasonal threat. Choose blight-resistant varieties and consider planting earlies that finish before blight becomes a problem. Now for the numbers. A 100 square feet bed planted at 12-inch spacing yields about 100 plants. If each plant averages 10 pounds in rich, deep soil, you harvest approximately 1,000 lb. easily a year's supply for most families. Even a conservative 5 pounds per plant gives you 500 pounds from that same 100 square feet. Compare that to conventional shallow planting that might only produce 150, 200 pounds. Practically start in fall or early spring by building soil with lots of compost or manure until the bed is dark and friable. For deep beds, double dig to approximately 18 in and work organic matter through the whole depth. If you prefer the no-dig route, lay a compost base and keep plenty of straw or leaf mulch on hand. Plant seed potatoes after the last frost. 12 in spacing in deep beds, 18 in more conventional rows. Use certified seed potatoes when possible or save healthy tubers from a previous crop. From planting to harvest, earlies take 3-4 months and main crops 4-5 months. During that time, keep tubers covered, control weeds. They compete strongly in rich beds, and watch for blight in hot, humid spells. Harvest early if necessary. What this means for you: instead of spending $200 a year on store potatoes, you can invest a small amount in seed potatoes and compost and grow hundreds of pounds yourself. Freshly dug potatoes taste sweeter and creamier than long-stored ones, and many varieties will store naturally 6-8 months in a cool, dark place. The system isn't about magic skills. It's about understanding that potatoes need depth, not horizontal space. Give them deep, fertile soil and room to expand vertically, and they'll reward you with yields that seem impossible compared to shallow planting. Pick a 100 square feet bed or a few barrels, plant a mix of earlies and main crops, and watch a modest investment of seed and compost turn into a season's worth of food. It's not fantasy, it's math. 100 plants, 10 pounds equals approximately 1,000 lb. Potatoes don't need more room, they need depth. That's the power of giving plants what they actually want.